Amid ongoing tensions between Japan and China, negative news about Chinese people from Japan has drawn significant attention. On November 10th, at the crowded Iga service area on the Meihan Expressway, a parking dispute rapidly turned violent. Around 9 p.m., the confrontation ended with police arresting a Chinese man on suspicion of attempted murder. Police say the two men were complete strangers. The victim was a 46-year-old company employee from Tenri City in Nara Prefecture. The suspect, 38-year-old Chinese national Bao Jianjiang, was driving a Toyota Alphard, a luxury van commonly used for tourist transport. The argument began over parking spaces, a frequent source of tension at highway rest areas in Japan. What normally ends with words quickly escalated that night. After the initial exchange, Bao returned to his vehicle while the Japanese man stood in front of it and refused to move. Moments later, the van began moving forward slowly, struck the man, and carried him on the hood. For the next 50 meters, the victim clung desperately to the edge of the hood to avoid falling. While holding on through sudden acceleration, sharp braking, and swerving, he managed to call police with his free hand. Officers later described these maneuvers as highly dangerous, leading directly to the attempted murder charge. The victim suffered only minor abrasions to his waist and arm. In Japan, however, the severity of injuries does not determine whether a case is treated as attempted murder. The critical factor is the degree of lethal risk created by the suspect's actions. Bao fled the scene after the man fell off, but the victim clearly remembered the vehicle's details. Using that description, police located and arrested Bao several hours later. During questioning, Bao admitted the van moved while the man was on the hood, but insisted he had not intended to kill. Japanese authorities typically judge such cases by the objective danger of the actions rather than the suspect's claimed intentions. News of the arrest quickly spread across major Japanese media outlets and social media platforms. One widely liked comment on Yahoo News read, "No matter where someone is from, everyone must obey the rules of public spaces in Japan. Dangerous driving like this cannot be tolerated." Some observers noted that the current bilateral tensions can cause incidents involving foreign nationals to receive heightened attention and scrutiny. Recently, Chinese influencers F-3 basketball crew danced and filmed a video at the busy Shibuya crossing in Tokyo, which drew backlash from Japanese people. They were accused of blocking the sidewalk and hindering pedestrians. Some vloggers revealed that the F-3 crew quietly returned to China, possibly due to deportation from Japan after filming illegally. The F-3 basketball crew is a group of young performers from Chengdu, Sichuan, known for their Shudu basketball dance. On Douyin, China's version of TikTok, they have more than 3.8 million followers. Last week, the seven-member team traveled to Tokyo and performed the routine right in the middle of the sidewalk at Shibuya Crossing. Online videos show them dancing and spinning basketballs as crowds tried to pass. The stunt quickly drew sharp criticism from Japanese residents, who called it selfish and dangerous. Many said the group blocked the pedestrians and the tactile paving used by visually impaired people, and that filming a dance performance in the street without permission violates public order rules. Even in China, a large number of netizens condemned the behavior. One widely shared comment read, "Blocking the sidewalk and the blind path. How did they not get hosed down? Still think they look cool? Please stop embarrassing the country." On November 15, a Chinese vlogger reported that the F-3 crew had quietly flown back to China only days after arriving. Photos that surfaced online show members of the group being questioned by Tokyo police on the street. A Chinese vlogger analyzed that when the F-3 basketball crew went live in Japan, the stream had 26,000 viewers and gained significant traffic. The expenses for the crew, including round-trip tickets, food, accommodation, and hiring a driver, would have cost a considerable amount. It didn't make sense for them to only stay a few days and return. They would have lost money. It's likely they were targeted for violating Japan's visa laws by endangering commercial activities while on a tourist visa. One person commented, "I looked it up, and it seems that dancing in Shibuya requires notifying the police. In China, media awareness of legal issues is weak, but when you're abroad, people won't tolerate it." A separate video from Chengdu shows the F-3 crew repeatedly stopped by security guards for the same reason, blocking traffic while performing their dance. One online commentator linked the incident to broader tensions, writing, "After the recent Chinese diplomat scandal, this driver living in Japan should have kept a low profile. Instead, he acted recklessly. This is clearly the result of CCP education, pure thuggish behavior." The F-3 crew appeared equally unaware of the hostile climate they were entering. Relations between Japan and mainland China have sharply deteriorated following threatening remarks by Chinese diplomat Xue Jian towards Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. On the evening of November 14, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued an unusual travel advisory urging citizens to avoid Japan for the time being. The notice cited rising crimes against Chinese nationals in Japan, unresolved assault cases, and provocative statements by Japanese leaders about Taiwan that have worsened the atmosphere and increased safety risks. It added that Chinese diplomatic missions are closely monitoring the situation and urged citizens in Japan to stay vigilant, call police if needed, and contact embassies or consulates for help. The advisory triggered widespread mockery from Taiwanese netizens. Popular comments included, "Thank you, Chinese Foreign Ministry. Now even the deer in Nara can graze in peace," and "Why only temporary? Make it permanent." In Japan, the news dominated threads on 5CH, the country's largest online forum. Many users simply wrote, "Please don't come, thank you," while others said, "Go ahead and ban travel entirely, no problem." Prime Minister Takaichi recently told the parliament that the Taiwan Strait conflict could threaten Japan's survival, potentially triggering collective self-defense. A Kyodo News poll conducted November 15th to the 16th found her cabinet's approval rating at 70%, up 5.5 points from October, with disapproval at 16.5%. The same survey showed 49% of Japanese support or leaned towards supporting collective self-defense in a Taiwan contingency, against 44% opposed. 60% backed Takaichi's plan to raise defense spending, with 35% against it. On concerns that her policies could fuel xenophobia, 58% said they were not worried and only slightly concerned. The diplomatic crisis began November 7, when Takaichi described the Taiwan Strait War as an existential threat to Japan.